Hello everyone and welcome back to another interview. Today we are joined by two guests, Media and Performance Studies lecturers Nanna Verhoeff and Michiel de Lange. You have already seen Nanna in a previous interview with Iris van der Tuin, but this time we will talk about her and Michiel's work on a cool event, the Media Architecture Biennale, which is about the role of media in urban space. Unfortunately, this year there's no Biennale because of the coronavirus, but it will take return in 2021 from May till June. So thank you for having a chat, Nanna and Michiel. Nanna, of course, you've already introduced yourself in the previous interview, but could you maybe shortly explain again what your role is at the university?
Sure. At the moment, I'm associate professor in the Department for Media and Culture Studies. And from September onwards, I will be full professor in the same department, holding the chair of Screen Cultures and Society. And I teach in various programs, amongst which the Research Master Program, Media, Art and Performance Studies. And together with Michiel de Lange, who is joining us, and also Sigrid Merx, a colleague of ours in the department, I lead the research group Urban Interfaces about media, art and performance in urban public spaces, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that shortly.
And Michiel, how about you? What do you do at the university?
I'm an assistant professor at Media and Culture Studies Department, and I specialize in researching new media and urban culture.
Okay, and how did you start working together on the project?
I guess it was basically our shared interest in this topic of how media and mediated experiences collide with urban experiences. And both Nanna and me have been working on it for quite some time. And then fortunately, we became colleagues at some point. And then we started this research group called Urban Interfaces together with Sigrid and a bunch of other people. And so currently the three of us, so Sigrid, Nanna and me, are the core group of Urban Interfaces. Yeah, we also teach together, Nanna and me, a course in the Research Master's Program called Urban Interfaces. And well, separately, we also teach in that field. So I teach a course in the regular master's program, New Media and Digital Culture, which is called Urban Mobile Media. And I also teach in a minor program called Creative Cities. So yeah, we have our various interests, and these come together once in a while in this Urban Interfaces group.
When we started our group a few years ago now, we thought that within our department and the various teaching programs from different angles, urban public space was a topic of interest. So whether from the perspective of new media technologies or performance practices, this was an interest for several colleagues, and we wanted to sort of reinforce that topic within the department and within the various teaching programs. Mm-hmm. And so this multidisciplinary perspective is very much at the heart of our research group. Yeah. And as a sort of first big project that we took on, and I just want to mention it here, is that we put together a special issue with the same name, Urban Interfaces, claiming also the framework of looking at various practices through the lens of the conceptual lens of interfacing. Mm-hmm. And I just want to mention that because it's an open access journal issue, and it has a lot, I think about 20 articles in it. And it really puts out there our perspective that we collaborate on with various international scholars as well. So
about the Media Architecture Biennale, you also work on that together. And Michiel, I saw that you are the founder of the research group Mobile City, which is also a partner of this project. How did you start working on this event?
Michiel and I were both active, you could say, in a sort of broader research area of what's been called media architecture. And it's not a very common name, but it's very much overlapping with our interests of the research group Urban Interfaces. It's about various technologies embedded in urban public space as part of the building infrastructure as well, but also looking at live performances in public space. And we're active in different also international consortia and networks. And one of them is the Media Architecture Biennale is a sort of recurring event bringing together designers, architects, scholars from different parts of the world and from different disciplines. And it's a bi-yearly event. Mm-hmm. And within the consortium of that bigger event, there was the wish to organize this year's edition, 2020 edition, in the Netherlands. And we partnered up with the School of Applied Science in Amsterdam, the HVA in Dutch, to co-organize this event taking place in both Amsterdam and Utrecht. So Michiel and I, as representatives of Utrecht and of Urban Interfaces, we work together with our partners in Amsterdam to organize it. And of course, we had to now postpone it till next year, but it's going to be even better.
And what is exactly the target group for this? And what kind of events are organized?
So the overarching theme is Futures Implied, mm-hmm. which implies that it's about the future, and it's also about the way that media architecture as a discipline, so where let's say design for media interfaces collides with the design for spatial environments. How can that open up new perspectives of possible urban futures? Because mm-hmm. obviously the world is facing a lot of big challenges, amongst others, rapid urbanization, environmental problems, all kinds of crises with immigration and so on. So how can media architecture play a role in somehow allowing people to envision new roles for the city and new ways of participating in urban life? So that's the theme. So who does this event cater to? Well, it's basically a combination of media designers, architects, urban planners, policymakers, and also academics, I guess. So it's a healthy mixture of disciplines, I would say.
Yeah, and one of the things that we wanted to organize or wanted to emphasize in the Utrecht part of the event is to collaborate also with local cultural institutions like Impact and Setup and Raum, and to also bridge and make a connection with artists and activists, and also connect to local communities. So the ambition of the biennial in general, I would say, is to connect the various disciplines, creative professionals, scholarship, but also representatives of urban communities. Student presence in the event is something that we find very important. And of course, when the event is happening in Utrecht and Amsterdam, we'll make various connections to the courses that are happening, where we'll be inviting interns. And I think it's one of the ways in which students can make this connection between the theory and philosophy they've been working on in their courses, and the sort of societal relevance, if we want to use that word, for these perspectives today, and also the connection with creative practitioners and also activists in exchanging our various perspectives on contemporary issues.
Yeah, and I was wondering if you have anything else you would like to share with the students also for this upcoming academic year. What are you looking most forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to being present in the same space as probably we all are, and already in the current courses, and I'm very likely also in the upcoming courses in the first semester. Of course, the topic of the current situation is going to be moving through the discussions that we're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me personally, this connects very much to some of the central questions that we address with our research group.
Yeah.
It's precisely looking at the impact of technologies and to our spatial practices as well. So there's this combination that I think is highly relevant. So
Mm-hmm.
I would claim, take any electives that you can around this topic of urban space, that even though we're in the moment of a lockdown situation, it's probably even more urgent than ever.
Yeah. And you, Michiel?
Yeah, I think on a practical level, the next year will bring a series of events leading up to the main Biennale. So throughout the year, we'll see a range of different events and activities going on, which will all be shared both on our Urban Interfaces website and on the event website, mab20.org. But also to add to what Nanna is saying, and I really subscribe to that, I think it's a really urgent question that has now come to the fore, how our mediated experiences are colliding and sometimes also creating frictions with our spatial experiences. I mean, now with the corona crisis, we're seeing how all kinds of activities that we used to take for granted, like shopping or, meeting with friends or partying, going out, going to the bar, restaurant, and so on, studying, education, and so on. All of that is being subject to new regimes. And I think this poses huge challenges also for creative professionals and academics alike to rethink how mediated and spatial experiences are basically co-constitutive and are being reorganized, so to say. So I think this is all the more urgent, and I would definitely also therefore make a call towards new students to, as Nanna already suggested, pay attention to that topic.
Thank you, Nanna and Michiel, for the interview. I hope you will have a great Biennale next year, and good luck with all the preparations and also with the upcoming academic school year.
Thank you very much for the interview.